Welcome back, guys, welcome back to the channel, and it's feel good to be back, to be honest, because how long, I don't even count how long it's been since my last video, but I'm back, I'm full-time in the studio now, and things going slowly back to normal, even with the whole situation around. But hey, let's not talk about that today. The video, it's all about e-commerce shooting. So if you ever experience the situation that somebody reached to you and say, hey, can you do pictures for my website, or can you do pictures for my eBay or for my Amazon store, or anything related to product photography which is for e-commerce to sell online, stick in this video because I'm going to show you a very quick how to set up a very small and a very affordable setup so you can shoot this product photography even in your home. I'm in my studio, but when I shoot first for this client, this was over a year ago, I didn't have yet the studio, just before I get the studio, so I had to shoot from home and I had to set up everything in my small conservatory office, if you can call it like that. So it was very limited space, but pretty much I used exactly the same equipment. The only downside was that I couldn't move around easily, but because it's e-commerce and it's a static product, they're gonna stay on one place. Once you set up, you don't have to worry about too much because you're gonna use a remote trigger, your camera won't move, your setting won't move apart from just few adjustments, and you're basically just gonna go through the whole bunch of products you have to shoot for your client. Now, depends on the product, they may require different views of the product. In this case, I am working on shoes, which is just here behind, you can see them. I will show you. With the shoes, it's pretty much same story, let's say, as every other product probably. The client wants a view of the product from few different angles. So basically I'm having the shoes next to each other, then I have a shoot from the back, then I have to do just one of the shoe from each one of the sides and a top view. So I set up my shot in two segments, if I can call it like that, two segments, but I presume that's the right term to call it. The first segment is when I'm shooting the bunch of the photos, which it's all positions from front view. So you have the front, the back, the sides views, and then when I finish with the whole batch of shoes, depends how many products I have. In this case, I had to shoot 10 products the other day. We send them back to the client, and I've just received two more and more coming. So once I set up my shot, I memorize the settings, or I just write them down, position of lighting, setting on the camera, everything. So whatever they send me anything new, I always deliver the exact same shot. So that's the rule number one. When you work with a client on product photography and you know you're gonna have possibly more products in future, I suggest for you to write somewhere down, even if you want to sketch like how it's your lighting, what is the position, what kind of a backdrop you're using, what's your camera settings, so you have everything put on the side. So whatever this client contact you again and say, hey, listen, I have few more products, same things like before, can you do it for me? You're just ready to go because you have everything black and white. You just set it up, receive the products, do the shot, get paid. Happy days for everybody, for the client and for you. So e-commerce, it's not like product photography. Okay, product photography may require involvement of the art director, maybe a manager of the company, production manager. You may have a long brief, and it could require so much extras like a props, different like a mood lighting and everything. With the e-commerce, it's different because all you need to do is get a good quality pictures on a white or a black backdrop or any other color. It's usually one color, depends of the shop, online shop, and then that's it pretty much. So once you set up, it's just ready to go. Now what we have here, as you can see, this is the shoes which I shoot. At the moment I have just two pairs, and it's a very good actually example because one of them have straps which supposed to stay up, and I'm gonna show you how to do this. But this is basically my setup. Let me just move backwards and just show you. I have two LED panels. This is the newer NL480, which I did a quick review on them. You can check the link in the description. They're fantastic, and I always use them for eCommerce because what they give me is the feel light of the whole set, and also because they have in the front, as you can see, they have diffuser. So the diffuser throw a really nice kind of a reflections on the shoes. You can see a very nice smooth reflection. It's not that harsh, and it's a good, especially if you have, like I'm shooting a shoes at the moment, they have a obviously leather texture. It's nice to pop out the texture, so it's good to see it on the picture. Okay, on the top I have one Godux SK300 Series 2, so this is on the top, and with a big soft box. It could be square, it could be octabox, it could be anything, as far it's big enough to cover your shooting area. So mine, I think it's 120 centimeters, so it's big enough, and it's just above the shoes, like a half a meter, 70 centimeters, something like this, just enough to cover the whole area to eliminate any shadows. So I'm just gonna press my trigger just to show you. That's all it is. So if I get on my camera, just to show you what is happening here. So as you can see, I hope you can see, it's not gonna be very clear, but I will walk you through. I always keep my ISO on 100, so I never go over this. I'd like to compensate with the shutter speed. So I'm 115 at the moment. The reason why is because I'm using a remote trigger. So here we go. I am using this newer remote trigger connected to the camera. So I basically don't touch the camera, so nothing's gonna move. And if I just press and focus, I'll take the picture and that's it. And when I go to preview, you can see it's a nice and bright. There's no any shadows, anything, but you still have the reflection from the actual newer panels, which is fantastic. But this is the setup. So you have one C-stand, which is gonna keep your speed light on the top because they're quite heavy. So you need something steady. If you don't have anything else to attach it, I will suggest to invest in the C-stand. It's a very versatile, not just for lights, but as you can see, I have it here, and this is where is the trick. Let me just see with this backdrop. You see these tiny fish rods? They holding the shoe strap straight. So if I remove this and I put this shoe here, and I want to do a side view with the shoe, like a side shot, I can get the fish rod on the front, and I can adjust the highs, how much I want to be high, where to be, a little bit higher. So I'm gonna put the fish rod on the front, and I'm gonna pull a little bit up. So there you go. That's how the shoes stay. And when you take the picture, all you need to do after this is remove this fish rod in post-production, which is extremely easy. So as you can see, it's not very difficult. You have the big soft box on the C-stand, and you have the two LED panels. These two LED panels, they come in with their own stands and adapters and everything. They also can be run on batteries. So my camera usually is set up on a daylight. I always set up my camera on a daylight because it's kind of the closest to the natural light. So it's 5200K in the Kelvin. The panels, it's set up exactly the same, 5200, and my speed light at the moment, I think it's set up on a half power. I think it is at the moment on a half power. This is something which you can adjust, or you can play with your camera with the shutter speed. Like I say, depends on the color of the product which I'm shooting. For example, it's a black on white now. So I keep it on 100 ISO and I compensate with the shutter speed. And my focal length is f8 at the moment. I shoot on 85mm, 1.8, but I don't open like down to 1.8 because I don't want to have any depth of field here, because we talk about products. We don't want any kind of a blurry background and any of the blurriness going over the product. So I usually shoot around f8, sometimes I go on f11. This is gonna give you enough crispiness and enough sharpness for the product, but still, because it's 85mm, it's a portrait lens, it have this lovely, like a smooth feel. It won't make them over sharpened. So you can shoot probably with a 50mm 1.8. However, when you shoot products, bear in mind about this depth of field. Don't go down to 1.8 or 2, because you may introduce some blur touching the product and it won't be very good, like a line shaped and good, how to call it, separating from the backdrop. Now I'm shooting on white, which is quite good, but you may have a white product on black, and if you don't have this good sharpness, you may introduce like a halo, may introduce like a very blurry edges, which is not gonna be good. Your client won't be happy and you won't be happy, because you want to see the product. That's the e-commerce, it's all about the product, okay? And pretty much this is it. The backdrop, it's a vinyl, which it's a double side, so on one side it's black, on one side it's white. You can invest in one of these. Usually they come in different sizes. I will leave links to all the equipment in the description, so you don't need to worry about. You can find if you want to invest in something like that, you want to start with e-commerce photography. But once you buy this backdrop, that's it. It's forever, because it's a vinyl, it's washable, it's easy to clean, doesn't leave marks. You can even shoot like wet products if anything needs condensation on it. Then it's just a quick wipe and you are absolutely fine. So it's a good investment. It's usually come in 2 by 3 meters. Yes, it's a little bit costly, not too much. I think it's around £60 here in UK. But once you get this length, if you're not using like for full portraits or full body shots, or you're just using for product, you can cut in 3 different lengths and you can have 3 different rolls. Put 2 on the side to have for future use, and just use one until something, let's say, wrong happen and scratch or ripped off, so you can use the other one. So on the long run, it's fantastic investment, because you're gonna spend once this money and that's it, but you're gonna bring so much back from this backdrop, because you're gonna shoot so much products. Yeah, so that's the plan. Also, I said it's a good to invest in C-stands, because the second C-stand is just here, and as I show you, I used to use the fish rod if I have products which are supposed to be in the air, or something to straighten up, or maybe fly. I can use like a small acrylic plastics attached to the C-stand, and then with a hot glue attach the other product and just have it as it's flying, and then in post-production remove these things and fix everything. So this is it, guys. I hope I didn't forget anything, but just to recap quick, I know it may be a little bit long video, but hey, get used to it. Sorry, I like to talk and I like to make sure you get everything what you need if you start to product photography. Of course, feel free to ask me questions or maybe request a video on something specific which I can do for you. I do apologize if today it's more me talking than just showing you stuff. I just bought the M50, yes, in 2020, fantastic, I'm so happy with it. And I'm waiting for a few things to arrive for the camera, so at the moment it's just hanging on a basic like a stand, light stand. There's no tripod, nothing, so I can't move it too much to show you stuff, but that'll change when things arrive. So just to recap, I'm shooting on Canon RP. I don't think I'm ever gonna buy any of the new models coming now, because the RP is fantastic, no matter what people say, they just need to learn to use it. Then I'm having a Godux trigger on the top. I shoot with a remote trigger with a cable. You can use your phone as well if you want. You have the vinyl backdrop. The vinyl backdrop is staying on the back on the cloth rail, which is cost 10 quid. Yeah, it's not even backdrop stand. It's a cloth rail from any shop, these portable cloth rails. Fantastic. Why you need to spend so much money to do that? Then probably the biggest investment is obviously the C-stands, the Godux speedlight, and the newer LED panels. Overall, on top of my head, without the camera, just the lighting and the backdrop, you look to invest probably around 400 to 500 pounds, dollars, euros, whatever you are. But this is your set, think like that. It may looks and may sounds like a lot of money, but it's a set which you're buying for work. So you're buying this as a working horse. So this supposed to make your money. It's not to buy it just to have fun with it. You buying it, investing it in yourself. Okay, in the beginning you may need to do some free shots so you can build a portfolio and show what you do. But end of the day, you're buying this with the idea to work for you and bring back to your pocket. Okay, so don't be scared to invest even if you need to borrow, as far as you having plan to make this money back and start actually making a profit. Okay, pretty much that's it for me. I'm back to the channel. I will have a full set of lots of things coming your way. So until next time, my name is George. Thank you for watching. And if you want to see more things, if you want to follow, if you want to learn more things about product photography, drinks photography, cocktails, food, anything related to this still photography, make sure you subscribe and stay around, because I'll be more often now here and I'll be happy to share my knowledge with you. Until next time, have a good day, guys. See you later.